Commissioner Sanford,
Here.
Commissioner Neesmith, Mayor Watson,
Here.
Commissioner Maglinger,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Glenn.
Here. Thank you. This time, I ask you to please stand and, if you're able, and remove your caps for the invocation and the pledge by Commissioner Sharon Neesmith. Amen. First item on the agenda tonight is a proclamation for National Police Week. I'm going to go down here, read this proclamation. Man, this year I've had to hand it 2 weeks. Testing. Okay, officer. The citizens of Owensboro, all our employees, all our retirees, wish to present this proclamation to you as part of OPD. Whereas there are more than 800,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the Owensboro Police Department. And whereas since the first recorded death in 1786, I promise you I wasn't there, more than 24,000 law enforcement officers in the United States have made the ultimate sacrifice and been killed in the line of duty. Whereas the names of these dedicated public servants are engraved on the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. Whereas 345 names of fallen heroes have been added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial just this spring, including 148 officers killed in 24 and 197 killed in the previous year. Whereas the service and sacrifice of all killed in the line of duty will be honored in the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund 37th Candlelight Vigil on the evening of May 13, 2025. Whereas May 15th is designated as Police Officers Memorial Day in honor of all fallen soldiers, officers, and their families. Now, therefore, I, Thomas Hart Watson, Mayor of the City of Owensboro, do hereby proclaim May 11th through the 17th, 2025 as National Police Week in Owensboro, Kentucky, and publicly salute the service of law enforcement officers in our community and in the communities across the nation. Signed and sealed this 6th day of May, 2025. Now, Chief told me you'd like to say a few words. You come for a speech.
Serious about this speech? Hello. Let's make sure it's working. First and foremost, we just want to thank you for this. Really didn't prepare for a speech, so I'm going to just keep it at that. And once again, thank you.
Foot squeak. Did you ever have that happen? You foot squeak. Have you ever heard that happen? Okay, the next proclamation from the City of Owensboro is for Professional Municipal Clerks Week. Whereas the office of professional municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world. Whereas the office of professional municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants. And whereas the office of professional municipal clerk provides a professional link between the citizens and the local government bodies and agencies of government at other levels. Whereas the professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community. And whereas the professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk through participation in educational programs, seminars, workshops, and other annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organization. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the Office of Professional Municipal Clerk. Now therefore, I, Thomas Hart Watson, Mayor of the City of Owensboro, do hereby proclaim May 10 to 2025 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week in the City of Owensboro, and further extend appreciation to all municipal clerks, especially our own Beth Davis, and to all professional municipal clerks for vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the community they represent. Signed and sealed this 6th day of May, 2025. All right, we're on 4C. I see Mr. Tim Ross moving towards the podium, our Public Events Director.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Just wanted to provide an update like we typically do annually for the Barbecue and Barrels event that's coming up this weekend. It's hard to imagine that Mother's Day and barbecue is here again, but I just wanted to provide some highlights for that to give everybody a quick overview of what we can expect. The barbecue board came up with a great idea this year to create this barbecue blueprint. And so we've got 24, 25 barbecue vendors out there in addition to the 4 church cooking teams. And so you can look on the social pages, QR code, there's a great barbecue blueprint that highlights the signature entrees from all these different barbecue restaurants. So it'll get your taste buds going, kind of like we do during Burger Week to highlight those. So take a look at that on our social pages. Again, the event starts this coming Friday at noon and continues through Saturday night. Arts and crafts vendors are back like we usually have. They've got a couple of blocks there on 2nd Street along with all the other vendors. So we've got more than 25 handcrafted arts and crafts vendors that'll be there. And then again, we added the bourbon experience several years ago when Green River opened up. So the bourbon experience is the only part of the event that is ticketed. There's the VIP tickets are sold out, but the general admission still has some seats or tickets available for that inside the convention center on Saturday. They've got some classes that you can sign up for that start about 2, and then the rest of the event goes until about 6 that evening. They started the raffle last year. The board decided to help raise some funds for the parishes and obviously for the organization that hosts this event each year. So folks can buy, I think it's $12,000 or $13,000 is what that pot's up to now, just started the other day. So folks can buy tickets for that, again, online, QR codes, or on site at the event. You can purchase your tickets, and hopefully you can walk away with a big smile on your face after barbecue weekend and with a little bit more money in your pocket.
From the barbecue or the bourbon?
Whichever one you pick. Live entertainment. Last year we started out doing a little bit bigger. The organization with the convention center, they're on the front lawn to have music, and so there's quite a few different live bands, local groups that are on the courthouse lawn that are a big hit that lots of local folks know, some student groups that'll perform there. And then we've got some bigger groups on the front lawn of the convention center. Friday night is more the rock and roll night. There's a Journey tribute band called Resurrection that's one of the best in the country. So for all you Journey fans out there, come Friday night for that free show. Starts at 6. And then Saturday night goes country. So Drew Baldridge, a great up-and-coming artist, and then Clay Walker's a legendary guy in country music that's got a ton of awards. And so, again, starts Saturday night at 6 o'clock for both of those shows that are free. Bring your lawn chairs. Don't try to show up at 7 o'clock and think you'll get a good spot on the lawn because it'll be full by then. But again, some great free shows. Thanks to Owensboro Racing and Gaming was a good partner with the event this year to help make those happen. And then road closures. We as the city kind of help support them, and obviously have to shut down quite a few roads downtown to make this thing possible. So Thursday, the Carnival area there in Blue, kind of the Blue Bridge area, Second Street will be closed there on Thursday. Then the rest of Second Street and those adjacent ones there in green on that map will all close Friday morning. And then one thing special to note, we've done it for years, but just so people are aware of, if you park in that Davis Street parking garage, the entry and exit to that garage is closed about 5 o'clock on Friday. Reopen after the event is done that night. And then Saturday at 12 o'clock, we'll close entry and exit, and it won't reopen until the event's done Saturday night. So if you go to that parking garage and you want to stick around all day, great. But if you want to leave, don't go to the Davis Street garage. There's lots of other surface lots and lots of church groups that do parking along 3rd Street and such. And then obviously the history of this event has been a part of Owensboro for 45, 46 years, I think it is now. So everybody knows second weekend in May, barbecue kind of takes over downtown. So something new that the organization and the city wanted to help support them with this year is we've decided to rename temporarily 2nd Street is going to become Barbecue Boulevard for the weekend of Barbecue Festival. So once the road closes, you'll see some new signs that are up there, just a temporary thing. We're not renaming it for ad nauseum, but for Barbecue Weekend, it'll be Barbecue Boulevard there down 2nd Street. So that was a really creative marketing idea that some folks on the team had. So that's the overview. Lots of information on social media and on the website. Lots of stuff in the media, but happy to answer any other questions if you have them.
Questions? You have informed the VFW, is that correct?
We have regularly, yes, sir.
Okay, just making sure.
No
for the
problem.
record.
We'll meet with them again.
Good man. Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
Just for your information, depending on who you talk to, festival started in 1977 or 78, so it should be either 47 or 48 years.
There you go. It's a little longer than 46.
I know, really.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Any other questions? I guess not. See you later, Tim. Okay, item 4D, hail damage update. Mr. Brent Kelly, Loss Prevention Manager.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. I am Brent Kelly. I am the Safety and Loss Prevention Manager for the City of Owensboro. I consider it an honor to be here tonight to give you just a brief update on the damages that were incurred from the March 15th hailstorm. As you can see on the screen there in front of you, it's kind of hard to see. I didn't realize it was going to be so small. I apologize. On March the 15th, early that morning, we did experience in the City of Owensboro and surrounding areas a historical event. It's one of the most intense hailstorms in recent history. You can see by the picture there on the right, that is where the hail path went. And if you can kind of see right in the center, there is a pink colored dot. That is the City of Owensboro. So with that being said, the hail in the City of Owensboro ranged anywhere from pea size to slightly larger than a golf ball, which caused significant damage throughout the entire city. We'll get into that in just a little bit. As a result of that, the city has filed 3 insurance claims. I'll try to explain those. We do have a property claim, which covers building and structures. We have a auto claim, which obviously covers our autos and vehicles. And then we have one that is inland marine. Inland marine covers property that's out in the open. That is your decorative lights that are in your parks. It's benches, it's signs, it's generators. It's basically anything that's outside that's not a property or a structure. So we'll get into that in a little bit. Here on this next slide, you can see this is just some of our, I kind of lumped in the property and inland marine into one, so we can kind of talk about those together. Kentucky League of Cities is the city insurer for a property and casualty insurance carrier. We've been working very closely with Director of Claims Mark Miller, and they have multiple reinsurers. I'm learning more about insurance every day and how it works, but our primary reinsurer is Lloyd's of London. So with that being known, our local broker, EM Ford, I've been working with them, and then we have a third-party adjuster, Collins & Company, which we work very closely with. They've been on site multiple times, going through not only vehicles, but buildings and different things. Because this was such a historical event, they called in Maven Contracting. Maven Contracting is home offices, is in Thompson Station, Tennessee, but they also have a local office in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And what Maven is doing for us is they are coming in and basically they are on our buildings from floor to roof and all over it, giving us estimates of damage to give us an idea of what it's actually going to cost to get us back to pre-hail damage condition. They've took samples of multiple roofs, different type roofs. They've been sent off to a Hague research and testing to give us an analysis on if we need to replace the roofs or if they need to go any further and that kind of thing. Public Works is also up there. I'm very thankful for working with the Public Works team. Internally, we've been trying to do any immediate repairs that are needed, replacing glass, those kind of things, stopping leaks, stopping further damage. You can see also, it's kind of hard to see again, but the pictures there, one of the things that's covered under the inland marine is our trailers. So the Owensboro Fire Department Special Response Trailer, or Special Operations Trailer there, has significant damage on that. You can see the coils of an air conditioning that looks like it's been just beat to pieces, and then the side of a building there that has significant damage as well. Again, property and inland marine. So the city of Owensboro insures approximately 220 structures. Of those 220 structures, about 87% of them took some type of hail damage. And I estimate that at 87% because we are still finding damage today. So keep that in mind as we talk about this. Some of the damages include park benches, lights, windows, roofing, the HVAC units, outdoor lights. You can see some of the samples there of one of our decorative lights that took a shot to it, some of the park benches, and then windows that are broken as well. Next, we'll talk about vehicles for just a moment. Of course, again, Kentucky League of Cities is our insurer, working very close with them. Also, Collins and Company, and then Public Works. Our maintenance garage was authorized immediately with vehicles to be able to go in and start repairing headlights, taillights, safety equipment, and those kind of things the very first day to get that stuff rolling. Because of the significance of this damage and the amount of damage that was done to vehicles, Kentucky League of Cities recommended that we contact a couple of paintless dent repair individuals that are outside of the city, but they are local in Kentucky. It's the Dent Man of Kentucky, and then American Health Solutions been working with them trying to get our vehicles repaired, doing some paintless dent removal, and then they have a network of body shops that they work with in Western Kentucky as well because of the amount of damage. So we've been using those. You can see the photos there, a couple of vehicles. One of them has the busted taillight, one of them has significant damage on the roof rails, and then one has damage around the windshield. Some of the other items here with the vehicles is you will see that we insure approximately 325 vehicles. That does fluctuate from day to day, so some days it's a little more, some days it's a little less, depending on buying and selling new ones as allocated. Approximately 50% of our city vehicles suffered some type of damage. The ones that didn't were the ones that were primarily under shelter, like our fire apparatuses were in buildings. Some of our sanitation trucks, because of the way they're made and what they're made out of, they were under shelter, but then it would take a lot to damage those anyway. And then a majority of our public works was in garages and under shelter as well. Unfortunately, approximately 110 of our emergency response vehicles, the majority of them being OPD cruisers, took some significant damage or damage from the hail. That's about 34% of our fleet, and those damages did include windshields, headlights, taillights, exterior mirrors, and other items like that. And you'll see I got on this slide, and it kind of contradicts a little bit. This is 150 plus vehicles. When I was putting this slide together, that's about where we were at, but it has increased. Just as a quick summary, again, you'll see that we do insure approximately 220 structures. Estimates for damage on our structures and our property and inland marine is ranging anywhere from $250 up to $750,000. We are obtaining new estimates daily from Maven and from Kentucky League of Cities, Collins and Company. They are sending us estimates daily. There's several folks in this room that are probably tired of getting emails from me, and I know our adjusters are tired of hearing from me. But also some of the smaller structures, such as the lights, the benches, and those kind of things, we are repairing or replacing through the Public Works or in certain other departments. On the vehicle side, here's where it will contradict just a little bit. I put it here approximately 165. As of this morning, I have personally laid hands on 163 vehicles that have damage. And those estimates are ranging anywhere from about $600 to repair up to around $22,000 to $23,000 to repair. Lots of damage, lots of vehicles. Headlights, taillights, mirrors, again, are being replaced by the Public Works garage, so we can get the safety equipment replaced as quick as possible. And then windshields, we had a local vendor who was dedicated to us who came in, the auto glass shop. They replaced all of our windshields so we could keep those vehicles going. Just a couple other quick things. As of today, Maven has provided us with 22 of the estimates to the city of Owensboro, along with scopes of work. So those are being evaluated and looked at to make a plan going forward. And then the biggest thing that is kind of shocking, but you guys will understand this, Kentucky League of Cities and Collins and Company has told me that these claims that we have filed, these 3 claims, will be open anywhere between 36 and 42 months from the date that the hailstorm occurred. And by open, that means that's how long it'll take to get the estimates, get the dollar amounts, get it all figured out. But the buildings, they expect to be even longer than that before we are able to close those claims and get the properties repaired and fixed. That concludes my portion of this. If anyone has any questions or comments, I will do my best to try to answer them.
Commissioner Glenn?
Feel like Jeopardy. I guess I hit my buzzer. Anyway, so my first question is, a lot of people are having vehicles totaled. Do
Yes.
we have any vehicles that are going to need to be totaled?
At this time, we do not have any vehicles that are going to be totaled. We do have some that are borderline, and the reason we're not totaling them is because we're going to repair them in a way to keep them moving, to keep them presentable to the public. But at this moment, we do not have any vehicles that are going to be totaled. There are a few trailers that unfortunately will be totaled.
And which of our public parks, did you look at our public parks like Moreland and all, which of our parks, in your opinion, or based on the insurance adjuster's analysis, sustained the most damage?
Based on the way that the storm came through and what the insurance is telling me, I wish I had the map that they have. They weren't able to share it to me because of the size. They have a map that tracked the hail based on the size of the hail and what it was as it came through the city. But it looks like all of the parks, the playground equipment held up amazingly well. I was shocked about the playground equipment. But it looks like probably the Moreland Park in that area took the brunt of the hail damage size. But that's still being debated because we're still getting estimates in and we don't know for sure yet which one's going to be the most expensive.
And then the last question, again, I'm applying a civilian model here. So what will this do to our rates through KLC?
Unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you live in Davis County, it doesn't matter if you have damage or not, our insurance is going up. They're comparing this to the tornado of 2021 that went through Mayfield, Bremen, Dawson Springs. They're actually saying that this is more significant based upon the amount of damage inside the city limits.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your efforts. Thanks, Mayor.
Any questions down here? City manager, you paying him by the hour?
He probably wishes he was being paid by the hour at this time. So again, just want to acknowledge your efforts, Brent. I know it's been unplanned, but certainly a great effort, and Public Works and everyone who's been involved. So I just want to acknowledge the diligent efforts that have gone into this once-in-a-lifetime, hopefully, initiative.
I'm glad to meet you finally after all these years.
I like to stay behind the scenes. I just want to make sure that the city gets back the best it can. And, you know, to City Manager Pagan's comments, I'm just the point on this for the insurance. I work with an amazing team, and I cannot do this alone. So I'm just the one that got the opportunity to come this afternoon and present to you guys.
Well, thank you very much for your work.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll go to 5A. Consider approval of minutes dated April 15th, 2025. I will make a motion to approve these minutes. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion, additions, or deletions? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. This time I'll ask you to go to 5B to consider board appointments. Davis County Building Code and Appeals Board. Reappoint Paul West as a joint city-county appointment to a 4-year term expiring April 30th, 2029. Owensboro Historic Preservation Board, reappoint Catherine Burlew to a 3-year term effective May 17, 2025. Alderman, Bond Harbor Area and Neighborhood Alliance, appoint Patricia Cameron and Todd Self to a 2-year term effective May the 6th, 2025. The Old Owensboro Neighborhood Alliance, appoint Jacob Galan and Christara Lee to a 2-year term effective May 6, 2025. Seven Hills Neighborhood Alliance, appoint Jessica Jones to a 2-year term effective May 6, 2025. Owensboro Sister Cities and Regions Board, appoint Ashley Gendek to a 3-year term effective May 6, 2025. Whew. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve all these appointments. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Go to item 6, first reading. Ms. Carrico.
Ordinance 4-2025, an ordinance changing the name of Taylor Avenue to Camoff Way, introduced and publicly read on first reading on the 6th day of May, 2025.
Thank you. City Manager, would you like to discuss this?
Be happy to, Mayor. Thank you. So recently we were approached by leadership from Owensboro Catholic High School who requested that we change the name of Taylor Avenue. Taylor is a short street off of Dean Avenue. You can see it there in red on the map on your screens. And so Taylor's a short street off of Dean Avenue, which you can see on the right-hand side there. So there's only one driveway off of Taylor, and there are actually no properties who are actually addressed or have a Taylor Avenue address. So Taylor functions essentially as a rear entrance to Owensboro Catholic High, which is back behind the softball field. You can see there on the screen. The request was to rename the street in honor of Charlie and Linda Kamoff to recognize their contributions to the school. So Mr. Kamoff, of course, recently died, and so I think that was what initiated this request. So accordingly, this is first reading of an ordinance changing the name of Taylor Avenue to Kamoff Way.
Thank you, sir. There'll be no vote, so we'll move to item 6B, please.
Ordinance 5-2025, an ordinance repealing Ordinance 2-2019 and adopting the Davis County Fiscal Court Countywide Animal Control Ordinance, KOC 1010.9, 2025, introduced and publicly read on first reading on the 6th day of May, 2025.
City Manager, please.
Yes, the county provides animal control countywide, including within the city. And historically, we have adopted the county's animal control ordinance. They recently amended that ordinance, and so therefore this is first reading of a city ordinance adopting by reference the county's recently updated animal control ordinance. Really, it was minor changes. The primary change was to move animal control responsibility to the sheriff's office. And generally, the county ordinance addresses items such as animal cruelty, nuisances, chaining, tethering, regulation of pet shops and kennels, and things of that nature. Note, however, that the city has separate ordinances, so we'll retain our own laws regarding animals in parks, the responsibility of owners to pick up after their animals, and then we have we have laws specific to livestock within the city of Owensboro as well.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, thank you. We'll move to municipal orders. There will be a vote.
Municipal Order 10-2025, a municipal order authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a memorandum of agreement with TS Entertainment LLC, providing that the city shall pay TS Entertainment LLC a total of $1,500,000 for development of property located at 5000 Frederica Street and 5105 Back Square Drive, containing a total of 33.111 acres, more or less, read for approval on one reading the 6th day of May, 2025.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve this municipal order. Could I have a second, please? Second. City Manager.
Yes, in March, an exciting redevelopment of the mall was announced. The project is scheduled to be a state-of-the-art family entertainment center, which will include miniature golf, go-karts, laser tag, bowling, and similar features. Represents an estimated investment of up to $17 million. The project has been approved for Kentucky Tourism Development Tax Credits, which is a very meaningful or lucrative state incentive program that has rigorous criteria as they evaluate the projects. When we began talking with the project representative last year, it was clear that the project had broad support from the Board of Commissioners, and you had a strong desire to see the mall occupied as a vibrant community and tourism destination. As a result, this municipal order approves an incentive for the project from the city. The incentive would be structured as 4 equal payments of $375,000 each, and those will be provided at various points during construction and development of the project.
Thank you. Any discussion? Bob? Commissioner Glenn?
No, I'm good.
Okay, I thought you were reaching for your mic there. Okay. Since there's no discussion, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. City manager items.
Yes, Mayor. First, if you would acknowledge Angela Waninger to present the March financial report.
Ms. Waniger, you're
Thank you, Mayor.
acknowledged.
Thank you. I'm going to present the financials for the month of and the 9 months ended March. And before we get started, I just wanted to add that although we're in the month of May, you may be asking why we're just now presenting March. We typically present the financials the second meeting following the month of activity. But last month, our meeting was April 15th. And because we take information in from OMU and Regional Water, they have to close their books and get their information to us. So just wanted to explain that in case anybody's wondering why we're so delayed on the time frame. So with that, our first slide is on the general fund revenues. Our actual revenues of $4,589,581 were higher than budgeted revenues of $4,509,809. This results in a variance of $79,772. This variance is primarily due to higher occupational withholding net profits, offset primarily by lower property tax. For our next slide, the general fund fiscal year-to-date revenues are $59,218,849, which was higher than budgeted revenues of $56,774,914 for a positive variance of $2,443,934. This variance is primarily due to higher net profits, insurance license fees, property tax, and interest income. Note that a portion of our property tax and net profits will be dispersed at a later time due to our tax increment financing and developer incentive agreements. This is for the month of March expenditures. Actuals were $5,214,004, which were higher than budgeted expenditures of $5,164,645 for a variance of $49,359. And all I can say is that's pretty darn close. Our next slide is 9 months fiscal year-to-date expenditures, actual of $58,247,171, which was less than the budgeted expenditures of $65,064,221 for a variance of $6,817,049. This variance is primarily due to timing and transfers to OMU. We still have a balance of $2.3 million. Maintenance and supplies, capital expenditures, which we budget the full year for the actual or for budget on capital expenditures, so it's going to be off usually every month, and savings in personnel services of over $1 million, primarily due to public safety. Our next slide shows the cyclical nature of our revenues and expenses. As depicted, expenses are reflected by the red bar, which outpace revenues typically in the warmer months when outdoor activities are in full swing. Likewise, we have months where revenues, as depicted by the green bar, outpace expenditures, such as in the months of November and December due to collection of property taxes, and the month of April due to collection of net profits. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Questions? Okay. I'll make a motion to consider the financial report for the period ending March 31st, 2025. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion, additions, deletions? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item 8B, please.
Thank you, Mayor. For personnel appointments, we just have one regular status appointment for someone who's completed her probationary period, and that is Molly Gertison, regular full-time, non-civil service appointment to telecommunicator with Central Dispatch, effective May 6th.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve this status. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 6C, please. City
Yes,
manager.
Mayor, just one other comment tonight. Tim spoke earlier in the meeting about the Barbecue and Barrels event, which of course is this weekend. Next weekend, another well-known event or season, I guess, starts for the year, and that is Friday After 5, which kicks off before we have our next meeting. So I asked him just to speak briefly about Friday After 5.
Yeah, Friday After 5, obviously the second weekend's barbecue, third weekend kicks off Friday After 5, and it has been for decades here in Owensboro. Lots of information in the media about it. They've done a good job promoting this new season, lots of different media events, but it kicks off on the 16th. And as usually happens, city night, city sponsoring that opening night. And so we will have good support out there from both Public Works and Fire and Police to have some of their equipment and apparatus out there for folks to be able to see. I know city's got some giveaways that we're doing. One of the crowd favorites, Velvet Bombers, will be performing that night. And then that season will continue through the beginning of August once football kicks off and everybody goes to the football games. But so for those 12 weeks, it'll be happening along the riverfront. And so location-wise for that, it'll be in McConnell Plaza is essentially where it's going to be each week. And so they've scaled back a little bit, the food vendors and such. That'll all be in that area behind the Bluegrass Hall of Fame and the Hampton Inn, not stretching all the way down the street, but a little more concise there to McConnell Plaza. So looking forward to working with them. They've done a great job kind of partnering and communicating with the downtown businesses, and so they're all on the same page with what's happening for their season. So that kicks off on Friday night, May 16th.
Questions? Good. Okay, communication from elected officials, item 9. I'll go first tonight. I want to run down the things that, since it's been a while, almost a full month, we had a meeting. We greeted the Kentucky Oil and Gas Association. Congressman Guthrie was in town. The Y provided a Good Friday breakfast. I met with Congressman Jamie Comer, who's head of the committee in the House. Had a phone call with Anthony Davis, as did Nate and Mark Calitri. Judge Castle, we didn't make it. The inauguration of Dr. James Cousin at Kentucky Wesleyan was April 25th. Really excited for him. Owensboro Health provided lunch one day. MPO TAC and policy meeting was Zoom. I love that. Meeting with Rana Titch. She had some questions. She comes from Ukraine, so she was trying to get some input on Ukraine and what was going on in the federal government. Had a budget presentation. We had Rooster Booster May 1st. We had the Fire Training Center dedication, and that was really neat. I got a great, is it an axe, Chief, or a hatchet, or what is that, an axe? I call it an axe. Okay. We had a ribbon cutting for the Storybook Walk, which is really cool. It's at the park, Legion Park, and there were a bunch of children there, and we had books and things for them to start reading, and it was very well attended. Let's see, Arbor Day proclamation, and that was done at Wayman Morris Park. Donor Derby party. Thanks for Public Works for digging those holes for those trees, by the way. Had an EDC committee meeting. Met today with Commissioners Neesmith, Maglinger, Glenn, and Sanford. And tonight we have this little commission chambers thing. So been pretty busy, but that's what I signed up for. Commissioner Glenn.
Yes, I've also attended a few of those events. I do want to highlight that was at the Manita Sleep panel presentation at the park. It was a well-attended event and a lot of fun, and the panels looked great. Spoke at the graduation for Ross College, mainly medical transcription graduates, and there were about 35 folks that graduated that night. It was very exciting to see that they were ready for the next step. And I do want to commend the fire department. We had a wonderful opening with the new fire training center. Really looking forward to not only what they'll do for OFD, but what it will do for a lot of the agencies in the region. So thank you, Chief, and thank you to your staff for all the hard work you did getting that open and put together. It's going to be great. And then finally, I would just say, I think it's really exciting this year that both pools are going to be open. I would encourage people to take advantage of our pool situation. If you've got a young person who needs to learn how to swim, or you just want to cool off, it's great that both those pools are going to be open this year. And finally, schools are about to be out, so start looking more carefully when you drive. Do not run over a child. They'll be out playing and in your neighborhood, and so please be aware of that. And that's it.
Okie dokie, Commissioner Maglinger.
Well, it has been a lot of exciting things going on the past couple of weeks, but echo, we've been to a lot of the same events. But last week we were able to attend the senior center and was able to see their new building. That's going to be huge for our young seniors, and had the honor today to be with the mayor and Commissioner Glenn to recognize the Nurses Week. It was an honor being there. That, you know, nurses heal us and save lives. And then last, thanks to our special events, Public Works Department, first responders, for everything that you have and will put into this weekend's event. So proud to show off our beautiful downtown for the barbecue and barrels. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Meg. Commissioner Neesmith?
I will ditto some of those, and I would like to say that attending the fire training orientation, it was, I wanted to commend Chief Howard for his speech and his sincerity in what he was telling us and speaking for his people and his interests for what that's doing. Watching the presentation where the firemen went in and fire persons, I should say, went in and in the smoke room, I was just trying to imagine how would I feel, how would you handle that? So it makes you realize how very, very special all of our first responders are, and I can't imagine being willing to walk into a fire. But you know, we've got this training center and a lot of good coaches and trainers and leaders. So thank you to the fire department.
Mr. Sanford?
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to thank you guys at the fire department for your vision and getting this project done at the fire training center, because you really don't think you're going to need anything until you really need something from the fire department. So I think it's very important, training-wise. The better trained, it keeps you guys safe and it keeps the people in our community safe. So that's something that's, you know, the investment we have to make in these things is very important, and like I said, it's worth every cent of it. Some of us were at the senior center unveiling of the new building, which has been worked on for a long time. So I want to congratulate them on getting their concept of the building they want to build and the place where they want to build it. It's overdue, so it looks like that's a done deal, and it's going to be done. So that's wonderful, and I want to thank all the people involved in doing that also. It's a lot of work trying to raise funds and get the city and county on the same page, and they've done it, and it looks like it's going to happen. So that's great. Also, I just want to mention real quick, we talked about and voted on the investment at the mall, and I think it's very important, and it's the people doing it are local. I think it's going to be a great project for that area and help all the businesses in that area. So hats off to them for investing in our city and having the vision to do it, and really that, you know, a lot of people say, you know, everything's on the east side, but, you know, Frederica with this is, I really think these guys are going to make a big difference. So I just want to thank them also for, you know, taking their dollar and investing in our community. And that's all, Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, next item on the agenda is the open public forum. Members of the audience may address the Board of Commissioners on any matter of public concern that was not on the agenda. Comments are limited to issues within the scope and responsibility of the Commission. Commission meetings are held to conduct city business for the benefit of Owensboro citizens and taxpayers. This time, anyone who wishes to address the City Commission, please make their way to the podium to be recognized. Speakers must state their name and address for the clerk's record and limit their remarks to 3 minutes or less. Since the item is not on the agenda, excuse me, No response is required from staff of the board or the Board of Commissioners. The mayor may reserve the right to extend the time to the speaker. So who's up first?
Hi, Reggie Helm, Christie Place, Owensboro, Kentucky. I'm here as the chairperson of the York-Shively Neighborhood Alliance, or Shively-York Neighborhood Alliance. SINA is what we call it. So you've heard of the man from Uncle. I'm the man from SINA. And about 5 years ago, we were looking for something to get involved with as an alliance. And so I was watching TV, and I saw a gentleman called Mr. Matt Monsoon was on television talking about the flooding at the York area. I said, hey, that's in our alliance. So we contacted him, and we got Paula Clark and a few other neighbors, and that's kind of how that started, from a grassroots level. And then Commissioner Castlin got elected, and he lived in the neighborhood, and then we started sending you guys pictures and all that. And Commissioner Glenn was a regular at our meetings, so the ball got rolling. So Paula Clark, who lives we're South York by the park and north where it divides there, she got the brunt of it. The water would get up in her garage, and that's a long slope, probably 20 feet to get up that high. And so she attended every meeting, and then when engineering came and they did their presentation on what they were going to do after we got the $5 million, I believe it was COVID infrastructure money, she continued to stay, and that's how we monitored the progress of the work, because Paula lived there and had the brunt. So we'd say, how high is the water, Mama? And so she would tell us, so as it went, due to the contour of the land, and we told everybody at the meeting that if it rains 5 inches in an hour, the water's going to stay, for a little while. But we had an instance where it rained 5 inches a few weeks ago, like in 2 hours or something like that. It barely got up in her driveway. And then this last flooding issue, it barely got over her curb. So when she told us that, we all applauded, and it shows the value of the neighborhood alliances, how we are a liaison to you guys, and we appreciate everybody involved. So after that, the board and I agree, we need to recognize the engineering department. So we decided that we would get a certificate of appreciation, and with your permission, we would like to present it to whoever's here from engineering, and I'll read what it says.
That's you, Kevin.
As long as he doesn't, whoever doesn't put it on eBay and try to get my signatures on it, autographs. But it reads as accordingly: certificate of appreciation presented to the Owensboro Engineering Department in grateful recognition for your dedication and continuing efforts on the York Ditch Stormwater Project. Your work has made a lasting impact protecting our neighborhood from flooding, improving the quality of life for residents. With sincere appreciation from the York Shively Neighborhood Alliance, we would like to say a job well done. Thank you.
Hang on a minute. We're trying to get someone to take a picture. There she comes. Yeah, just slide back this way, and yeah. And then you just grin like a goat eating briars. Anyone else? I'd like to thank Ms. Carrico for her assistance tonight. She's wearing quite a few hats, Neighborhood Alliance, where else? Sister Cities, and tries to keep me straight, so we appreciate your help tonight, and fill in whenever you feel like you need to. Okay, any other discussion tonight? We'd like to say good night to Beth, and we'll see you all next time. We are adjourned.